but I wanted to ask Susan a quick question regarding where the rubber meets the road, which is money.
Sure.
Let's talk turkey.
Okay.
So we're hearing all of these things about putting in this and putting in that. The builder is just hearing cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. So
That's right.
how do you consult with those builders and let them know, no, it's not going to cost you more money?
So where it is in a typical home design, typical spec home design, 2 to 5% more. We haven't done a lot of studies over the years, but we've got an average of about 2 to 5% more than what a standard home would be. And if they're already putting in, light switches, which they are, you put them in as rocker switches. It's things that they're already doing. Years ago, a 3-foot wide doorway was more expensive, than it is now. It's pretty much evened out. Knob hardware was one cost, but lever was significantly more. And now we're seeing products becoming more commonplace, and so it doesn't change. So it doesn't even have to be 2% more, but that's added value for peace of mind moving forward. To really say, I feel good about the design of my home and the construction of my home. And now I want my consumer, my homeowner, my new homeowner to feel good about what we put into that home for them.
So Beth, do you think millennials will pay 2% more for a house because it has these universal design features or these accessible features, even though they don't know it?
I think if it meets their needs, I think they will,
Yeah.
yes.
I do too.
And I think especially when they have an understanding that it's going to also increase the value of their home when they go
Absolutely.
to resell. Part of what helps us drive the price up when we resell is that it's different than the house down the block.
Right.
So I think some of these issues do, and the appeal for people to buy your home is broader because you can sell to any generation. You're not limited to, if an older person comes in and looks at your house, they don't say, well, I can't live here because the doors aren't wide enough and my husband's in a wheelchair, or I can't live here because there's too much stepping into the bathtub and that type of thing. So they're broadening the appeal of who's going to buy their house when
And
they
it
go
will
to
be an
resell.
expectation. I believe it'll be an expectation.
I agree with that.
That, having stepless entries and, graded walkways being seamlessly put into the landscaping and those kinds of things. If you don't have that, I'm not buying your home.
Okay. So let's talk about space.
Okay.
Wider doorways, sliding doors. Does a house need to be bigger to have these features?
Absolutely not. So the efficiency of space, I think, helps us all. When we can stand in one spot and do all the things that we want to do in preparing a meal in the kitchen, that things are pretty much at reach range to be able to get and do. So that's how much counter space we need to be able to do those things. That's energy efficiency for ourselves, but also from a space relationship. So when we look at small spaces, it's really looking at the overlap of what those tasks can be. And do we have some variable heights? So do we have pull-out cutting boards, for example, that maybe, a child could help with cookies, at the same time? So we're looking at space being more efficient by doing surface mount doors, more the barn door style, so we're not having the door swing and influencing the floor space and that circulation and maneuverability. In small spaces, we're seeing smaller lots, and so with smaller lots, we're seeing vertical, so we're seeing 2-story homes. So the way we design that in universal design is that we put a removable floor, we frame that in between 2 closets that are stacked on top of each other. So when it comes time, should someone want to put in an elevator or a vertical platform lift, that frame and the pit are all there in place, ready to go.
But